Drive podcast.
All right, welcome back to this week's episode of the Outdoor Drive. This is episode 181. If you guys hear a loud bang, that's because I crashed the truck into the Jersey barrier, not paying attention while podcasting. We are actually on the return back home from the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg. And I'll tell you what, it was one to remember. This is your boy, East Coast Trev, and I am joined in the passenger seat, Mr. Madman Marek.
Regulators!
Oh, geez.
Mount up!
Well, as you guys all know, it's always crazy when we get on the road and everything else, and that's kind of an inside joke, I guess.
That's for the Patreon members to hear that story, and we don't have no Patreon members.
So you'll never hear that story. Is that the greatest part about it, right? I guess. I don't know, man. What did you kind of think was the better part of the show? I guess to recap, kind of real quickly, and then we'll break it down day by day.
I just like going around and seeing everybody, stopping at everybody's booths, and building relationships and friendships with all these people that you have, social media friendships with.
Right.
And this is one of the few times of the year that we actually get to spend time face to face and get to know these people, and they get to know us, and that's my favorite part.
Yeah, no, mine too, man. And I know you guys are going to have a little bit of background noise just because we are driving in the truck, so I apologize for it. But that's part of it, right? That's what we like to do is this. We are the Outdoor Drive, so we like to...
We're always on the go.
We like to, make it right there. But no, I think I totally agree with you 110% is just shaking hands and kissing babies. I mean, that's just my favorite thing to do.
Not shaking babies and
we
kissing
can.
hands?
I mean, it's probably better, but no, get to see a lot of our good friends that we've met over the years on social media, so on and so forth. And this year, we had the 95% of the crew came down and hung out with us. Seth, Justin, and Tyler. Lou sadly couldn't make it, but
he'll be at Springfield.
He'll be at Springfield, and he will be at Mohegan and stuff. And we're actually talking about doing a New York show, off the beaten path. I'm not really sure the exact name, but once that detail comes on, we actually networked with somebody while we were down here, and he has a show in New York, so I think we're going to go set up or at least be at that show and check that one out. But no, I had an absolute blast at the show. I mean, my liver probably didn't have a blast.
My voice didn't really.
No, well, the hotel was so darn dry, man.
The show's dry.
They're around a ton of people. My throat is...
And then you got the nightlife. You got to go out after, and you're yelling over music. And I drank probably my year's worth quota of Bud Light this weekend. So
did you?
Yeah, I went a little ham.
A little ham. Well, it was your birthday, and then we went to Harrisburg. So, dude, listen, you only live once, I guess.
No regrets, but soul boy ain't built for that shit no more.
I know, dude. And it's, I went from, I used to drink a halfway decent amount to now just a socially thing. But when I go socially, I go hardcore, and I mean, when the nights turn to mornings, and the mornings turn to afternoons, things are never good.
Yeah,
never
but
good.
You know what? Like I say, when in Rome, do like the Romans. So
what's that?
I just trying to keep up with you boys.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? All right. I appreciate that you hold me at that level that you have to keep up, right? I guess.
You know how it is.
Yeah, I know how it is. So, I mean, let's break it down, dude. We got a late start on Thursday due to my lack of...
Trev's bloopers, we'll call it.
Yeah, we'll call it Trev's bloopers.
So, no big deal, though. I mean, we were going to hit the road for, 7? And we got on the road for, 10.
Yeah, it was 9.
Yeah, no, it was 10. It was definitely 10.
I don't know.
Regardless, we got up to the show a couple hours later than we anticipated, but no big deal.
No, and when we got in there, we just started kind of walking around, seeing everybody, seeing who was there, checking out new products. We kind of did a pretty good buzz through to every room to see if there was new products and new things going on. The show, honestly, it didn't seem like that much foot traffic.
No, which is good.
Which is good.
There's the same amount of product and vendors and outfitters and all that stuff to see. It's just a lot easier to see it when you're not fighting crowds.
And the other thing is it's 9 days, so it's spread out throughout of how many people come in and go. And then, as the afternoon kind of, on all days, as the afternoon started to show up, it started to slow down a little bit more. And it's nice for us when we can go and, kind of network with our friends and hang out with friends that are vendors and stuff like that. But it was, we walked through this, that, and the other thing, and just kind of, just talk to everybody, and saw some of the new products. Like Latitude was there with their new carbon stick.
Yeah, I was dying to see those.
Just to put your hand on them.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'll be straight up. I mean, like, obviously when there's a new product, I mean, you're a little skeptical of it, right? Like, you just don't know what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, these sticks in particular, they're not just a new product. They're groundbreaking. This is completely off the scale of anything we've seen.
It's the top
before.
of the innovative side of it.
So anytime you see something that just comes out of nowhere like that,
you're going to have questions.
And I was probably one of the worst when it came to having my doubts and questions, but I was able to spend some time at Latitude and play around with them. I actually got to climb on them and put all my weight on them, and I'll tell you what, it erased a lot of doubt I had in my mind.
And so, I mean, you sat down with Jake from Latitude.
Probably a half an hour I spent with Jake, just on the sticks. That was it, because I already have a saddle from Latitude. Don't really have any questions there, and it was just 100% talking about the new sticks. So, and then the other new products that kind of had been raising some curiosity was Elevate. Elevate had come up with a new platform. Josh Stubbs, Josh and Jared killing it over there at Elevate. Their new stands, because to see the sticks in person too, that was the other thing, because they have a set of sticks. Yeah, I mean, I just love that company. I love that family. There's nothing I can say bad about those guys. Like, everything about them is just grade A. The way their sticks are integrated into their platform, I can't believe other companies haven't done that already. I mean, he's got it dialed down. The sticks are magnetic. Once the sticks stick together by two strong magnets, they're not going anywhere. And then I forget what he calls it, but there's a little like claw on the side of the platform that accepts the Versa button for the sticks. And I mean, it's just very well thought out, very well put together, very good quality. I mean, I stand with those guys and will support them.
Absolutely.
100%.
100%. The Zeus boys were there. Tommy, Nick, Frank. It was Kim. They were all there.
Yep.
Obviously we know that product very well, but it was good to see them in the show. It hadn't been in the show in quite some time.
I'd never met Nicky until this weekend, so that was awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
To finally shake his hand.
And that was one of the things. The whole crew was there to be able to eat, to shake hands with all the people that we work with and the friends that we have. Which was awesome, and we hung out in the Zeus booth for quite some time, seeing the Hera and seeing what Nikki's got going on over there and whatnot. We did some product overviews with Zeus,
Elevate, Scent Blender.
That's
was a new product coming out, and we'll have a video on that coming soon.
Which is a pretty cool product, probably the newest product of all of them that I've seen, honestly.
Right.
Where you can go and get like pine needles, or you can go and get corn, or you can go and get whatever. Acorns.
He even had that Forbes blend, which was basically like ragweed or whatever secondary growth you have. You just pick it, put it in the blender, add some water, and you're making your own cover scent. And
it goes into a squirt bottle, and you just spray it out about wherever you want as a cover scent. Yep. So I think that was probably the most innovative new product that I could find.
And depending on your local laws, there's nothing stopping you from taking a tarsal gland, throwing it in there, blending it up with some water, and making your own attractant spray, not just cover scent.
Yeah, but then if you go to put pine needles in it after that, it's going to have tarsal pine needles.
It's a good blend.
Yeah, it's a very good blend.
Custom blend.
A custom blend. You can make anything you want.
Right.
That was probably one of the coolest new innovative products that I had seen, honestly.
Yeah.
Obviously, we see the boys over at Wild Edge. You always see Drew and the fam.
Yep.
Always good to see those guys. And the other one I went and saw that was kind of like struck my interest a lot was Wise Eyes.
Yeah. Well, our buddy Dylan raves about those cameras.
Yeah, and he loves them.
He loves them.
And I kind of like them. The plan is a little bit cheaper than all the rest, I guess you could say. I don't know. Just a really cool camera product.
Isn't WiseEye the one that builds the algorithm?
They do build the algorithm.
And they pretty much predict when
That
target deer should show up based on all the past pictures of that target deer.
That's correct.
That's wild.
There's another thing that I found, and we'll probably do like a little mini thing with them, was ihunt.com. And what that one was it's an app. Like, you would download the app. It's free. And you can go onto their app, and just like you would book a hotel, it has like a calendar, and you pick properties, and you can book that property for like $80 a day or $60 a day and hunt on it, and they'll give you like GPS coordinates where you park your car, and you can go and you can hunt there. But we'll do a podcast with him and do that. Also, we're gonna have Rack Daddies. We met Axel and Trevor and the boys over there. Those guys are really cool dudes. They're also with Huntworth. That's kind of how that came about. So we went over and talked to them and chit chatted and got to see what they were all about. We actually saw a bunch of people from Huntworth that were down there. Glenn. Yep. Glenn was another one that we met up with and hung out with him. Primitive Patriot.
Yep.
We actually met him on the streets after we had left the bar. Got to talk with him for a little bit.
Amy from Bowhunting United.
Bowhunting United. I'll touch on that real quick, and we're gonna actually go into it. We'll have Amy or somebody from Bowhunting United join us to kind of do a podcast. But we had met Amy, and she said we were at a tavern. We were getting some food, and we were walking out. And
food.
Food. Yeah. And so they there was $8 pitchers there, so that's food. So we were walking out, and Amy was like, "Oh, you guys are the Outdoor Drive. Why don't you stop by the booth tomorrow? I want to talk to you about some stuff." One thing led to another, and they're actually going to sponsor the News for the Cruise. And work with it. They're advocates for bow hunters, and
the best way to describe it is they're basically the NRA of bow hunting.
Yeah. So they push and help do things on the the
legislation.
The political side. So you guys will hear from them. We lined up a ton. We didn't do normally we would do a bunch of mini series at the shows, but I just think that we were too busy.
Well, no, I think we were busy, but I think we met so many good people. They all deserve a full episode.
I agree with you.
With good sound quality. And to just try to slap together something for half an hour with all the background noise, it just wouldn't have done it any justice. So rather than recording a bunch of little mini live from the show episodes, we just decided we're going to circle back and have all these people on for full episodes.
For full episodes, yeah.
How about Kendall from Spy High?
Yeah, dude.
Hopefully we can drag him on behind the mic because that boy's doing some special shit.
I mean, I tell you what, dude, and I couldn't believe it. Like, he's a very quiet, humble dude.
Very. Except for when he's in the scooter.
Yeah, and yes, when he's in the scooter. Catch me rolling. No, so Kendall is actually related to Devin. You guys all know Devin from Spy High. Devin is actually where Ruby and Rip came from.
Yeah, Wild Prairie Gun Dogs.
Yep. So you guys all know him. So that's actually his brother-in-law. And he's a savage, so we don't need Devin anymore. We're going to have...
No, all Devin does is kill seagulls or something.
Yeah, I don't even know what he does, but...
Kendall has killed 9 elk in the last 11 years using traditional archery equipment. He's never picked up a compound bow in his life.
He's also killed a bighorn sheep with his bow. Yep. This dude is a killer. And all primitive hunting, so...
And just a awesome,
good dude.
Awesome kid.
Speaking of, we got to go out with those guys on Thursday night. We had an absolute blast with those guys.
That was the Patreon story.
Oh, that was the Patreon story?
Yeah. We're gonna
leave that one alone.
We're gonna leave that one alone.
All right, anyway, so then Friday.
But we did have a good time.
Yeah, we had a great time. Oh, what were those shots that we had, dude?
Lumberjacks.
The lumberjacks, dude. Those were great.
That was
Bailey's.
Yeah.
Butterscotch, Yukon Jack,
and a strip of bacon.
Like, dude, fire. Absolute fire. So, and then Friday, kind of hung out, chilled.
Friday, the boys were there.
Oh, yeah, they all showed up.
Thursday night, it was just me and you, just you know,
Right.
building some relationship. Friday night, Tyler, Justin,
And Seth.
rolled into town.
We got to go out to dinner.
Yep.
Hung out at the tavern, got some good bar food, kind of hung out, went out to another bar, hung out.
Yeah.
So those guys rolled in. Did they went to the show before?
Seth got there after the show,
After
but
the show.
Justin and Tyler got there.
So those guys walked around. We introduced them to a bunch of people, and then Saturday we walked around the show and we did a bunch of overviews. We did a bunch of media work and
product overviews
with so those will all come out on our YouTube. Bearing that the audio is good.
Right.
That's the only nervous thing that I do in any of these shows. It's so tough with all the audio.
Well, it was tough because it was Saturday, which is the busiest day.
Right.
And but we wanted to do it Saturday because the crew was there.
Yeah.
And those guys are phenomenal with their camera work, and they know what they want to portray and the camera angles and the B-roll that they want. So we cranked out a bunch of those on Saturday. But unfortunately, it was the busiest time and day of the store.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean,
those boys got to take back off and go back home to their families.
The only thing I'm worried about is I don't know if Josh Stubbs was using his big boy voice, so hopefully
you
can hear him in that, but
yeah.
We'll be all right.
It's Josh. Would you leave him alone, dude? He's going to come back right back at you, bro. I don't know why you like to pick on him.
I already got him naming dead turkeys after me.
Yeah, he said, what's the turkey's name? Stevie.
Only my beard was bigger.
Yeah. No, I had 11-incher, dude. He said that bird had 11-inch beard.
I think mine was 12 at the time.
Was it?
Not anymore. I shaved it all off.
I know, dude. You look like a schoolgirl.
Thanks.
Oh, what do you want from me?
Yeah. So then Saturday night, we ended up tripping into some BG tickets.
Yep.
And went and saw Brantley.
Good old Brantley Gilbert, dude. And I'll tell you what, for anybody of you guys that know me or know me on the side or whatever, I'm a big BG fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a diehard BG fan, and you're a BG fan.
I remember having burnt CDs. Half of our listeners probably doesn't know what a burnt CD is, but I had burnt CDs of Brantley Gilbert before Brantley Gilbert was Brantley Gilbert.
Yeah, we were actually peddling them around in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Brantley Gilbert exclusives when he had modern day Prodigal Son, and even before that.
I knew My Kind of Party and Dirt Road Anthem way before Aldine ever put it on the radio.
There was even more songs before that of Brantley. Saving Amy was one of them. There was a ton of them, dude, that were old school songs. And the thing is, he come out kicking with some of the old school songs.
He opened right up with Kick It in the Sticks, which I thought was a fantastic song to come out to because it just set the vibe. And
then closed it off with, Read Me My Rights.
Yeah.
So
it was a great set list, I thought.
It totally was. Great show. They put on a great thing. The NRA always does this great show. They move some serious people. I mean, dude, 250,000 people in 9 days through a building, over 1,000+ vendors. I mean, it's a great show. We got the chance to talk to Lars and what was the other gentleman's name that was in there with him?
Wild was his last name.
No. Hall?
I forget. This whole weekend's been
I
a
can't
blur.
remember.
Well,
exactly.
Saturday night was kind of I peaked out Saturday because we were so busy doing video reviews and the boys were there, so we put in the most work Saturday.
Right.
So I didn't realize it until we got into the Brantley Gilbert concert. I didn't even have time to have an Amish Hot Pocket that day.
No.
So next thing you know, Chev's feeding me Bud Lights at the Brantley Gilbert concert, and I forgot to eat that day.
What's funny is I grabbed those like cinnamon roll monkey whatever, dude.
Yeah.
And I think that was the only thing I ate all day long.
I had Doritos at like 3 a.m, so whatever.
Pretzels, whatever. It is what it is.
You live and learn.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things you get to in the motion of all this, and that's what exactly happens, dude.
Just go.
And the thing is, in all reality, I mean, let's break it down for 2 seconds. You actually don't do all that much in the show because a lot of times you're just standing around talking to everybody and networking with everybody. So you just we went and saw Cruiser. Those guys are pretty cool in their nutrient stuff. Their pre-workouts. They had a ton of really good stuff over there.
Yeah, we had a really good conversation with Cruiser.
Yeah,
I didn't realize most of their orders go to the Northeast.
Yeah,
and they couldn't figure out why the market was so high in the Northeast. And my theory is
the origination of mobile hunting is here.
No, well, yes, but why? And my theory is it's terrain based. So the Midwest, there's a lot of ag, a lot of brushy fence lines and stuff like that. So it's a lot easier for those guys to hunt presets or they're just typical lock-ons. Look at all those deer on the side of the road.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, we're in
What time
Fairfield
is
County.
it?
That's why.
12:48 in the afternoon. So when you get into the Northeast, for one, it's the land of the big woods. Upstate New York and in Maine and Vermont, New Hampshire, and Western Massachusetts. But you got the hilly terrain. And if you're going to be mobile in the big woods and terrain, it quickly becomes obvious that weight is going to be a factor when it comes to lugging in for your hang and bang. So I think saddle hunting as a whole just fits the Northeast.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree with you, man. Because the Midwesterners, a lot of the times, they go to that same tree stand. They're hunting that same fence row.
Right. And then even in like the Southeast, and now obviously saddle hunting as a whole is starting to spread and expand across the country. But according to the guys from Cruiser, it's definitely heavy in the Northeast as it spreads. But you go like Georgia, for instance. Georgia, there's a lot of pine plantations. Those boys love their climbers because it's just straight jack pines. They can climb 20, 30 feet, no problem in their climber. It's just taking a little bit longer for them to realize they want to make the switch to the saddle. But
well, taking it back a little bit, bro, I remember when we went to the Iowa Deer Classic a handful of years ago, and Drew from Wild Edge had come out there. And mind you, at that point, Arrow Hunter and Tethered were probably the only other saddles on the market, right? I don't even think, honestly, at that time, Drew was selling Arrow Hunter saddles. He didn't even have one of his saddles yet.
Right.
And we had gone out. We had all gone out. There's a bunch of us. We rode out to the Iowa Deer Classic together, and Drew brought his booth, set up his booth, and we were all in saddles in the in there, right?
Yeah.
And this is probably the first company to ever be in a show with a saddle.
In the Midwest, of all places.
Of all places. Dude, when they looked at us, they thought we were from Mars. They just got hit with a light beam from the UFOs, and they were like, what in the world are these monkeys doing in the tree? Like, literally, they had no clue. They'd never seen nothing like it ever.
Right.
And I remember those days because they had never seen it. But New England had already been part of it. I mean, I know some guys that have been saddle hunting for 8-10 years before then, when Trophy Line had originally come out with one of their original saddles to begin with. And now you have just a plethora of companies that have saddles and are manufacturing them on a commercial base.
Right.
It's just the way that it is. I mean, now you have 5 or 6 competing against each other to be innovative for that next step. I mean, that's how Latitude has their new sticks, how they have their different platforms, how they have the 2-panel saddles. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a big push on that stuff now than what what hadn't been before.
Right.
So, I mean, it's good to see, man. It's good to see all these people. And you know what? Honestly, with all of it, I love the competition, to be honest with you, because it keeps everybody honest. Everybody comes out with something new, and there's more products to be pushed to the consumer.
Right.
In my opinion, right? I mean, like it's like broadheads. Zeus comes out with this, then another product comes out with that, then they come out with this, then they come out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they're just pushing and
you
keeping
spend enough
people
time. I mean, we spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time at Wild Edge, and I spent a lot of time at Elevate. And you see it all the time. You see a guy come over. He wants to check out the product. He gets the whole spiel from, Drew or Josh or Jared, and they go, all right, yeah, I'll be back. You know what they're going next. They're leaving Elevate and they're going to Lone Wolf Custom, and they're going to get their spiel over there and find out how much their system costs. Or they're leaving Drew and they're going over to Tethered, or they're going to Latitude, or they're going to Cruiser. They want to see all the product and figure out what they want. And then if your product's good, they'll be back.
Well, it's nice that you were able to touch it, especially in that realm, in the mobile hunting realm. Like, there's not a store. I can't go to a Cabela's and touch the product. I mean, it's a direct-to-consumer product. So like you either buy it, you live it and understand it, you've YouTubed it, you've listened to a podcast, you know what that product is, and then you buy it, or you wait until a show to be able to see it. There's not a store that you can go to touch it and feel it and see how it works.
I would think the two things that you can't just make up your mind by watching YouTube videos and listen to podcasts is a saddle and your bow. It's the two things you have to put in your hands and use and feel before you can make up your mind.
I mean, there's no option there. Because if you buy it and then, I mean, there's a lot of us that have, right? We would buy a saddle product or whatever, try it, and then the good thing about saddle products is that the resale value is so high,
right, yeah.
Like it doesn't diminish in price. But I mean, it's just cool. That's what makes those shows so important, and why people, like guys like locally, right? Our personal shows, guys would be like, well, why would I go there? That place is dead. Like, it's not, why would I go there? I can just order it online. Well, because you can go there and touch things that you couldn't have online.
Right.
And the industry needs people to go to those shows and support those local companies and stuff like that. That's what the industry needs. And it's good to see that they're doing that now. And people after COVID are back in these shows.
Right. Well, the thing that pisses me off more than anything is we'll have a couple local shows coming up soon. And you'll see, like, I'll use Mohegan Sun for an example. It'll be the weekend of Mohegan Sun show, and you'll see a post on, like, CT Hunter where someone will go, oh, did anyone go to the Mohegan Sun show? And then you'll get a comment that says, oh, it sucked. It wasn't worth the $12 to get in, or the whatever, however much it is to get in. And it's like, dude, come on, really, man? Like, to you, but, like, who are you to, like, stop other people from getting out there and doing their thing? I mean, it's freaking $12 to get in. It's an afternoon. Bring your kids up, walk around, spend some quality time together. It's something to do. I mean, what else do you have better to do in the middle of the winter? Like, support the local show.
Yeah, I mean, these people are out there grinding, trying to get that stuff to go. And, and you're right.
You're supporting the industry.
Yeah, and you're supporting somebody who went out of their way to try and do it. And it's what's the difference? If you bring your kid to an amusement park, you're going to spend $50.
Right.
But it's the same thing, but just go and see the things that are coming on. I mean, and that one person that puts it on one of the hunting pages and talks down on it, that person might have everything that they ever wanted. Right. But somebody who reads that is like, I'm not going to go there. But they might,
because Joe Blow told me it sucked.
Right.
It's like,
but they could have went there and gained some knowledge.
Right.
It's just whatever. I get upset about that because then they're just crushing the industry from their own standpoint.
Right.
Exactly. What they think is right or wrong.
Exactly.
But I love being at the shows. The amount of people that you get to network with and meet, and guys that you've met on social media or whatever the case may be, and then like they stop in, hey Trev, hey Steve, what up, buddy? Like that's, to me, is the coolest part, man.
Yeah.
And this show was to honestly, for us, was as a team, it's the first show that we got to all go to together, and we got to, we did a bunch of team building.
Right.
I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
Would you call that team building?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we didn't do is, when, like, everyone stands behind them and you, like, lean backwards and fall and just everybody catches you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
I mean, we can try it in Springfield. We'll have trust drills if you guys want to stop by in the Springfield booth. We can do trust drills.
I'm with it.
Would that be good?
Yeah. I can't wait for our booth in Springfield, man, because we're not selling anything.
Might bring some hats, but
well, yeah, but our booth's gonna be a hang. Like, just come and hang. Just come hang out, tell hunting stories,
bring us beer,
show us pictures of your season, and shoot the shit. Like, we're not there to try to get you to buy some crazy new innovative product or anything like that.
It's not a consumer thing for us.
Not at all.
We might have some hats, some stickers, give away some things to some kids.
Yeah.
We'll bring some of the products like that we work with and stuff
Nori
like that.
Seguin calls. If you want to see some Zeus broadheads in person, we'll have some there. They won't be there for sale, but you'll be able to handle them, touch them, feel them.
Yep.
Give it a blow.
Give it a blow. Wait, you know what? Speaking of, I think let's break into them sponsors.
Might as well, huh?
Oi, you! Yeah, you! Put down that mug of Joe and get your lips wrapped round one of these bad boys. That's right. Nori's the game calls. Give it a blow. Nor'easter game calls. Get 'em in close. This winter, use Huntworth's Heat Boost products for impeccably warm body parts, guaranteed. Get more for less with Huntworth. New Era Archery, home of the Zeus Broadheads as well as the Hera. Let the Zeus loose with New Era Archery. I would just like to thank our generous sponsors. Back over to you, Trevor.
Well, I think we actually saw most of those guys at the show. Did we? No. All right, never mind.
In one way, shape, or form.
Yeah, whatever. We do have some new guys, new partners that we're working with, and we'll release those as they come out.
Mm-hmm.
Some really cool ones. That was another thing of going with the show, right? I mean, like, just get to work with some cool people. Like you guys just heard, Bow Hunting United.
Well, speaking of Bow Hunting United, we might as well send in some news too, no?
What's that?
Should we do some news? We got news for the cruise?
Oh, yeah, let's do some news for the cruise.
Send it over there.
All right, send it over. All right, guys, why don't we buckle up and see what's going on in the world of news with Mr. Mike Salter.
Hey everyone, let's start this one off with a couple legislative updates. First in Vermont, where House Bill H-191 has been proposed, which would prohibit the trapping of fur-bearing animals unless the trapping is done in order to defend property or agricultural crops. This bill would effectively end recreational trapping in Vermont, where currently the Fish and Wildlife Department holds trapping seasons for 13 fur-bearing animals. The bill would still allow state, federal, and municipal officials to trap in order to address an imminent health or safety threat or imminent threat to property. And the bill also allows exceptions for property owners to hire professional nuisance trappers. This is one where outdoorsmen need to have a voice to preserve trapping in Vermont. Now to Rhode Island, where HB 5258 has been proposed to ban the sale, display for sale, trade, or otherwise distribution of fur products with very limited exceptions. The impact of this bill reaches far beyond trapping and would include any items that utilize fur in production, including fishing lures, boots, and clothing, and more. This is another bill that requires action from outdoorsmen, and you can email members of the House Committee in Rhode Island through a link on the Sportsmen's Alliance website. So please go do that and help support getting that bill shot down. Now to Utah, where the DWR has implemented an emergency closure to the shed hunting to protect winter big game. This closure is effective immediately and runs through April 30th across the state on both private and public lands. The closure was implemented due to ongoing winter data collection and monitoring, showing that the extreme cold and increased snowpack across the state is impacting mule deer fawn survival rates and may negatively impact the ability of adult deer to survive the winter. The restrictions apply to looking for deadheads and naturally shed antlers, and DWR conservation officers will be conducting additional patrols to enforce the restrictions. The DWR also implemented emergency deer feeding in parts of several counties as an additional effort to help wintering big game. The DWR will continue monitoring and may lift the closure before April 30th if conditions allow. So now to Oklahoma, where the Wildlife Conservation Commission approved several regulation changes at their February meeting. The new regulations include extending squirrel hunting season through February 28th annually, decreasing the state hunter education course from 8 to 6 hours, extending the closing time at shooting ranges on ODWC managed properties to 1/2 hour after official sunset, establishing archery range rules for ODWC shooting ranges with archery facilities, and adding beehives to the list of agricultural crops subject to wildlife depredation complaints, and adding black bears to the list of big game animals covered under the Nuisance Wildlife Control Program. The Commission also tabled a proposed rule change to limit waterfowl hunting blinds on Army Corps lands to daily instead of season-long, but that may come back up. Now lastly, to Ohio, where the DNR has made proposals for the 2023-24 white-tailed deer hunting seasons to the Ohio Wildlife Council. As in years past, only one antlered deer may be harvested, and hunting hours remain at 30 minutes before sunrise to 30 minutes after official sunset. The proposed season dates are September 30th to February 24th for archery, November 18th and 19th for youth gun, November 27th to December 3rd, and December 16th and 17th for gun, and January 6th to 9th for muzzleloader. Deer bag limits are proposed to increase from 2 to 3 deer in Belmont, Gallia, Cayuga, Harrison, Jefferson, and Monroe counties, and the bag limit decrease from 3 to 2 deer in Butler County. The CWD surveillance area has proposed early seasons, with archery opening September 9th and early gun season going from October 7th to the 9th. Council meetings are open to the public, and you can register to provide comments on these proposals. Proposals for small game waterfowl and turkey were presented in January, and all of these proposed rulemakings are available for written comment on wildohio.gov from February 10th through March 8th, with a statewide hearing on all proposals scheduled for March 15th. So some opportunity there and some time to get comments in on those. As always, if you have any news to send along to me, it'd be greatly appreciated. You can reach out to me at bearded_bowhunter21 on Instagram or Mike Salter on Facebook. And also on the Outdoor Drive group page on Facebook, I put up a post for folks to add any bills that are coming their way in their states for hunting, trapping, and fishing. So if you can put some stuff up there, that'd be a big help too. With that, enjoy the rest of your ride.
As always. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Bow Hunting United, for doing that. Make sure you guys, if you guys have some news or want to talk about something, make sure to reach out to us and just kind of let us know what you got going on in your home states. It's very important that we push this and advocate for all this stuff. I mean, it's that time of the year where you should be calling your congressman.
Right.
You should be calling your local representatives. Because if we don't do that, we're never going to gain. We're never going to move forward, and we're going to lose more things. I mean, we're fighting right now for no footholds or body traps here in Connecticut, and the use of blue, the blue movement. We're going to call it the blue movement.
Oh, it's blue
yeah,
wave.
Blue, because it's not fair chase if you wear orange, because they can't see orange. They want the deer. It's not about us. It's about the deer now. So it is what it is. But
I ain't wearing blue.
I'm not wearing blue neither.
Never.
Blue jeans.
So we just all band together and don't listen to the law. If everybody wears orange, what are we going to do?
Well, you're still going to get a ticket because you're by yourself. They don't really care about your movement of blue. It is mutiny, but what are you going to do about it?
Wear my orange.
Just keep wearing orange?
Yeah.
Just say you didn't know the rule?
Yeah.
That sounds about right. I don't think that the warden is going to understand when I tell him. It was a Trez blooper. I wore orange.
Yeah.
Do you think they would?
I forgot my orange. I left it over there by my banana.
Banana. Oh my God. I guess this road trip's getting to us. I guess is what it is. We got an hour left until we're home.
No, to your home.
Well, to your home, and then
I
you got another hour
from there.
Yeah. Well.
So you know what, dude? We didn't really get into Sunday, but Sunday was a good day at the show because it was Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
It was busy in the morning. First thing in the morning when the doors opened, it was like everybody wanted to get in and get out and get home to watch the show. But the best thing about Sunday was when the show died, it freaking died. And it was pretty much just all vendors and media and, very few consumers in there. And that was another good time to really just kind of stand around with people and shoot the shit in their booths and just, have a good time and all that stuff. And then when I guess guys started packing up a little bit early because what time does the show end?
5? 4? 4:30.
Since me and Trevor were mobile and we didn't actually have a booth, we kind of ran around and helped our buddies kind of pack up. And
to be honest with you, in all shows, that's one of my favorite things to do. Yeah. I really love to help everybody else out. And give them a hand. Like I was with Zeus, you were helping Wild Edge, then we both went over and helped Elevate, pack up, and get their stuff out.
I mean, what are we gonna do? We're gonna jump in the truck at 5 o'clock, see you later, bye bye, or we can help those guys get packed up and they can get on the road faster too.
They want to go home.
We have nowhere to go.
No, it's so true, and it just what are we gonna do? We're gonna go back and sit in the hotel,
right?
Or go? I mean, it was Super Bowl Sunday, and then we ended up going and getting a meal at the local brewery and hanging out. I think there's a shed right there.
We'll stop.
Suck it. I don't know. That's kind of tough. It's that time of year.
It is that time of year.
And I'm always looking on the side of the road.
I wasn't even on Facebook much this weekend. I'm sure a bunch were found this weekend. It was a good weekend.
I did look on the shed page. It didn't look like there was all that many. Guys still got ones holding. I can't wait to get home and start shed hunting. Not that I don't have enough things to do, but I think I don't know. I do miss shed hunting. I've found 2 sheds all year.
Yeah, you're slacking.
I know. Ruby's probably pissed at me.
Probably. I'd be pissed too.
I know. I got to get back to trap line. We got to get banners, stickers, work on hats, merchandise.
Absolutely.
It was like that's probably one of the crazy things. You go away to the show and the world just stops, and then you go back and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Well, the world doesn't really stop. You just think it does.
You just think it does.
It's still going round and round and round, waiting for you to get back.
Ugh. An hour until we have to be back to reality.
Yeah.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah. I was over this shit about 2 days ago.
Were you?
Oh yeah.
I think I could turn around and do it again.
Not me.
Come on. It's not that bad.
I need a week off, and then I'll be ready for next weekend.
Well, we got 2 weeks until we're back in Springfield.
Right.
I mean, it won't be that bad. For us, it's a local thing. And one of the things that, I kind of, I'm thinking about and understanding, I think that, and I'll tell all the listeners this, is I think that we kind of, spread ourselves really thin trying to kind of capitalize along the entire country, right? Like, what we do.
Right, especially with you going to shows. Like, you've went Iowa Deer Classic and ATA, and where else have you been?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Ohio. I don't know, a couple of them.
Right.
But my thing I think that we're going to try and do is kind of target on New England.
Right.
The Northeast. I mean, Justin's from New Hampshire, Tyler's from Massachusetts, Lou and Seth are from Rhode Island, and we're from Connecticut. So why wouldn't we just capitalize on New England?
Right.
New York is one of the areas I'd like to go and spend some time and stuff like that, and kind of bring light to New England and what New England has to offer. I mean, we're very good in our niche where we love our area and we do well in our area. So why won't we just shed the light to where it is?
Right. And I think too, for the consumers of whether it be YouTube videos or podcasts or any kind of stuff like that, you tend to be more attracted to stuff that you relate to in your own personal hunting. So like me, for instance, I hunt the Northeast for the most part. I like if I'm watching a YouTube video, I'd rather watch a guy in a tree in the hardwoods early November, because that's how I hunt. It doesn't really do it for me to watch a guy hunt a soybean field in, Ohio.
No,
it's cool. It's but for the most part, I'm attracted to stuff that I relate to more.
Absolutely.
And that's our specialty, is hunting the Northeast. So why wouldn't we want to pump it to the Northeast?
No, and no, you're 100% correct. And,
I usually am.
One of the things I do want to do too is we kind of get lost in this, and we talk about this a lot. And after talking with some of our friends at the show, is bringing it back to the basics.
Right.
Like, we talk about the 10%er. Yeah, we are 10%ers, right? We are hardcore outdoorsmen. But the thing too is that we kind of take into lack of consideration, where a lot of people, when we have a conversation, is we are so used to all the things that we've done our entire lives that we overlook that there is newer people that are listening to us or paying attention to what we have going on, and they don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, like downwind. Oh yeah, hunt the downwind side of bedding. Well, what's bedding?
Yeah.
And you're caught off guard. Like, what do you mean, what's bedding? You don't know what bedding is? You forget that there's some people out there that just don't know. It's not their fault. They're new or novice, or they're just getting started. And you have to break it down even further than that.
Well, one of the things that kind of really came to light was we were talking to Dan Smeltz, and he has just created Craving the Wild. And his buddy Kevin that was with him, they were going to go hunting somewhere, and Dan says, "Do you have a bow rope?" And Kevin says to him, "Yeah, there's rope on my bow."
Yeah.
Like, he didn't understand what a pull-up rope was, because he's, and then that's an extreme case. But
somebody brought like a 10mm climbing rope.
Yeah, as a bow rope.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, all you need is a piece of paracord or something. But
right.
I mean, he didn't know. All he said was a bow rope.
And we kind of take that for granted, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my biggest things is just bringing it back to the basics for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And explaining some of those things a little bit more than what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Drew from Wild Edge hit on that a lot this weekend. He said it was just a much different show than ever. And I mean, Drew's been doing this for how long? You know, like he's constantly at shows. He's pretty much got it down to a science. And he said he's never had a year before where he was getting customers coming to the booth, and he had to explain the entire saddle hunting process from nuts to butts.
Right.
And usually, which is very surprising in today's day and age, but usually, people have done their research on YouTube and they've listened to podcasts and they've done their internet searches and they've got a pretty good idea of what's going on and what they want. And it's just a matter of showing up at the show, trying the product, and buying it.
Mm-hmm.
But Drew was in the booth pretty much giving full-out saddle hunting lessons that was taking a half an hour to 45 minutes to maybe make a sale.
And he was saying that there's a lot of new hunters.
Yeah.
A ton of new hunters.
Right.
That guys have never really hunted before. Or he would ask the question and be like, have you hunted before or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, imagine that. I mean, I can't imagine it. I've hunted my whole life. And then saddles come along. It's very easy to add that to the knowledge that you already have. Could you imagine just starting out hunting now, today, with how much shit is on the market and trying to sort it all out and figure out what to do with what the people have available to them now?
Well, that goes back on what we were just talking about.
Right.
On how they go from one company to another company to another company because there's just so much out there, and how and you have 4 or 5 companies in the same realm doing the same exact thing.
When we started hunting, it was like you had a freaking tree stand strapped to an oak tree out in the middle of the woods. You threw on your orange vest, you grabbed your rifle, you climbed up in a tree. You didn't even have a smartphone to check the weather or the wind. You just went hunting. And then slowly
you had to become a woodsman.
Right. But slowly new products would come out. And you know what I mean? Oh, check out this new lightweight climbing tree stand from Lone Wolf. It was the innovative thing, and then you could add Summit to your repertoire, and then all of a sudden, game cameras came out, trail cameras came out. So you're like, what is this new camera thing that takes pictures of deer?
Because we were using trail timers.
So then you start using that, and then that leads to cell cameras, and like
that happened very fast.
But we were already in it, so we were just adding to it. Imagine coming into the industry now knowing nothing and just being overwhelmed by everything you have at your disposal.
I couldn't even imagine.
I couldn't.
Because we slowly watched the carpet unveil.
Little by little, new product by new product by new product by new product, and we're just supplementing what we already have and know. I couldn't imagine starting with a blank slate now. My head would explode.
My head would explode.
My head explodes most of the time anyways with new stuff, let alone all at once,
Did I ever tell you that I hate people and I hate drivers and I hate New Englanders, like big time? They suck.
Yeah,
This is ridiculous. We're a little bit of traffic.
I think, are we on the Merritt?
Yeah, well,
I think maybe a mountain lion just got hit by a car.
Oh, jeez. Stop. No, they're doing road work and on a 2-lane road, and these guys are trying to cut you off, or they're trying to run to the front of the pack. Bro, I'm not letting you in, dude. I will crash into the side of your car.
It's a Toyota.
I don't care what it is. He can eat a rock.
Killer's going to kill.
No. No, he doesn't hunt.
He's missing his gas cap.
Dude, try somebody else. You're not coming in here, dude. I will drive you into the
Trevor, we're
Jersey barrier.
podcasting here, bud.
I don't care.
Don't be raging.
Well, it's ridiculous, dude. Get away from me.
So, anyways, back to the show.
Sorry.
Let's reel this back in.
No, but but I totally agree with you there where I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do if all of this stuff came out at once. I mean, look at the scent trail.
I almost feel like, though, as a podcast media company, it's almost our responsibility to help out these consumers and listeners sort through the bullshit and, try to spread some of our opinions, not saying that we're right or wrong all the time, but we know enough and we've seen enough and used enough stuff where we can put our honest opinions out there of stuff and try to help people sort through it and guide them into what I might like or what you might like. Sometimes you like stuff that I don't like, and I like stuff that you don't like. I mean, neither one of us are wrong, but we can help listeners and followers and try to help them
So
figure
Eric,
some of that stuff
so
out.
Eric Porter came down to hang out with us from. He's from bow hunting, Mass, right? So he's friends with the Mass boys. They had done some work together in the past, whatever. So he had come down to the show. We were driving. I don't remember where we were driving. I think we were driving to the show in the morning one day, and Eric was in the truck with me. Well, when he was there, we're going through a dark tunnel. So we were in the truck, and we got to talking about how he likes certain things. I had my Huntworth pants on. He wears Badlands. He's a Badlands guy, and I wear Huntworth, obviously. And I was in the Huntworth, the Durham pants, non-camo, just straight colors. The brown ones on, and he was like, dude, those are really nice pants. And I was like, yeah, man.
Did
I
he
said
touch
they're
them?
light.
Did he feel them?
Yeah, he did. He pulled on them.
On your thighs?
No. I lifted my knee. But anyway, so he was like, dude, those are really cool, man. Like, I don't really wear camo when I'm hunting, but those would be really cool pants. I got to get a pair of those. And I started telling him the elastic band waist, they're stretchy,
Reinforced
knee pads, butt
knee.
pad, like they're and I wore them an entire day and they were great. But anyways, so we get to talking, and we were just talking back and forth, and I said, it's a Dodge Ford Chevy for me, man. It's whatever preference that you have. I'm not saying that Badlands is bad, but I'm just saying what I use, Huntworth, I like it. And that's what I like. I feel comfortable and I feel confident in it. And when you feel comfortable and confident with a product or something that you're going to use, then you're going to go 10 times further than you would if you didn't have confidence in it.
Right.
And in a preference, it's not that one is better than the other. It's just what you like.
You have to love your gear, especially if you're a serious hunter and you put a lot of time in the woods. I mean, if you're a weekend warrior, nothing wrong with being a weekend warrior, but if you're a guy that hunts 4 or 5 times a year, I don't really like these pants or this jacket, but it works. That's fine. But like if you're really out there pounding the woods every day of November, you better love every single piece of gear you have, and if you don't like it, you got to think about upgrading it or changing something, because you really got to run like a fine oil machine.
So even on the weekend warrior side, and I'm going to kind of disagree with you.
Yeah.
Even on the weekend warrior side, the guys that can only hunt certain amounts of time a year, wouldn't you want that when you use that stuff, that you 100% believe in it, because you only have so many chances for something to happen, like a broadhead or an arrow or whatever the case may be. You have to be able to trust it and know that it works, because if you don't, then that one chance of that buck of a lifetime that walks by on that one Saturday that you're able to go out, you want to make sure that it makes its mark. Like,
I agree 100%. Yeah, you want to be most efficient with your time as possible, especially with less time available to you.
Correct.
I just find that the guys that go less seem to care less.
Right, and
not
that's,
saying I agree with it.
No, and it's very true. And then on the flip side, for the guys that are 10%ers, quote unquote, those guys have to have confidence in it, where it's rugged enough to last as many times as you are to go through the woods, right? And and when you do make that mark, you want it to hit on that mark and do everything that it's supposed to do at that time, and there shouldn't be any questions or worries or concerns about it. Like, I'll bring it back to carp fishing. So, like, when I'm carp fishing, you bait the area a couple days before, and you keep constant bait going into the place. You're bringing those fish in there. You're using a hair rig with either a boilie or corn or whatever the case may be, and that bait can almost sit out in the water for an hour, 2, 3, who knows, before that carp ends up showing up and eating it. So I want to have the utmost confidence in that rig, in that bait, and that hook, that it's going to work on 100% no matter what happens. Like, you have to have the confidence in knowing that bait is going to work. If you don't have the confidence in it, you're going to check it constantly, you're going to move it, you're not going to do it with it what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the same. You can bring that into any part of the outdoors, where, like, if you had boots, right? You have to put hundreds of miles on your boots, scouting, shed hunting, hiking, hunting, whatever the case may be. You want the best that you can possibly have, and make sure that it's going to work to full potential, that you want it to work no matter what.
I'm in the middle of that right now. The boots that I'm currently using, they're not junk by any means, but they're not top tier either. They worked great for me for a long time, but I'm just getting to the point now where I'm putting in more miles than I ever have before, and I'm starting to realize, like, the boots that were once great for me are now becoming the weaker part of my system.
Right.
So that's the next thing that I'm looking at taking to the next level, is a better pair of boots. And then down the road, something else is going to become that weaker part of my system that I'm going to want to upgrade. And you're constantly tweaking and upgrading gear to fit your style.
Bro, I'm going to sidetrack you really quick because you gave me one of these bucked up energy drinks, and I drink, that's my pre-workout every time that I go. I feel like I could walk 1,000 miles right now and I have the freaking jitters.
It's good for you.
It's got me going. I'm trying to figure out how much caffeine is in this thing because, damn, it's a ripper. It's a straight ripper. That's that bucked up stuff. I don't know. It's good. It's very good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not a big energy drink guy, but
Me neither.
I needed something after this weekend.
Me too. It just kind of gets me back up and going. But no, I think that you're right. Absolutely, is seeing those products, touching those products, and hopefully that we can kind of help diversify what's good and what's bad for you.
Right.
And I know that, like,
and it's always going to be opinion based. Like, nobody's right or wrong when it comes with what they like. That's why what I like to do is I reach out to as many people that I know in that particular department and take everything with a grain of salt. But the more people you ask, you can kind of maybe start to see a pattern, or a bunch of guys seem to always say the same thing, and you can start figuring out for yourself. But all you can do is try it all yourself. You have to make up your own mind at the end of the day on what you like, because nobody can tell you what you like is wrong. Everybody's system's different.
Well, some guys might be a scent guy, some guys might not. You know, like, I don't use attractant scents. Yeah, I've never really been a big fan.
The one I hate more than anything is the saddle to tree stand guys. You know, Nick Sampson's the worst about it. He freaking hates saddles.
I think that he just does it because he wants a rise out of everybody.
Well, I think he gets a rise out of it. But, like I told him, because he's been doing this to me for 2 years, I'm like, dude, I'm not even a big saddle guy. Like, I'm not. I think the problem is a lot of guys are like, saddle or nothing, or tree stand or nothing, and they're picking sides like it's Democrat versus Republican. I'm neither, man. I'm in the middle. Not Democrat, Republican. But when it comes to saddle hunting and tree stands, they're both tools for the trade. There's times where the saddle fits, and it's the only thing that I can use in this particular situation.
For sure.
There's times where I'm going to go in with a lock on, and I have to hunt the spot with a lock on. There's times where I go to a preset ladder stand because it's in the spot. You know, it's all what works for you in the situation. And I think that guys that are stuck on one method and one method alone, they're kind of handcuffing themselves.
They honestly are. It's like the guys that are climber guys, or tree stand guys, or ladder stand guys. Like, why wouldn't you have as many tools in the arsenal? Like, you don't see a carpenter going to work with just one hammer. Right.
But at the same time, who am I to say that?
That's true.
The climber might be
what works
perfect
best
for the terrain and the vegetation where they hunt. You know,
you have to keep an open mind about it.
I
think that's one of the things that, like, you know, like, and one of the things that I've noticed throughout even our team, right? Our team, like Ty might like a tree stand or fixed stands. Justin might like climbers. Seth might be a saddle guy, but they have to be open, or like Ty and Justin never really saddle hunted before. Right. And they're not like against it, but they just aren't educated on it, right? But now they're willing to take the step to try those things out because we've talked about them. And you have to keep an open mind about it because it could be the best next thing. And I was the same way. 5, 6, 7 years ago, I was that guy. I was that guy that said, no, I'm not saddle hunting. That's the stupidest thing in the world. And I was a climber guy. I'm like, oh, it's the best. Climbers are the best. You can kill 1,000,000 deer out of a climber. Yeah, you can, and it's comfortable, but I can't get into half the trees I've gotten into. I've shot some of my best bucks because I'm saddle hunting.
I would have killed my target buck this year if I was in a saddle instead of a lock on. That's a fact. There's zero doubt in my mind that I can say that 100%. Well, I mean, I guess I could have made a bad shot or something, but I didn't even come to full draw on my number one target buck at 25 yards. didn't even get the limbs bent. If I was in a saddle, 100% would have got the full draw on that deer.
Right.
You know,
It happens, dude, and that's part of it. But it's just that tool, man. It's just a tool, and hopefully, guys keep an open mind and they see stuff, and then with the review videos that we're doing,
even my sticks. There's certain, unless I'm like super mobile and I'm just going in blind and have no idea where I'm going. There's certain times where I'm taking my 17-inch Sakars because it fits where I'm going. Sometimes I take Wild Edge steps.
right?
They're completely different product. But I'm not just going to say, I'm only using these sticks on every single hit stand that I'm doing, because certain locations fit.
Well, you got to be versatile.
Exactly.
You have to be versatile. You got to have the versatility.
Right.
Right? Is that what the right word is?
I think so.
I don't know.
Especially when you get into the rut. Like if you're going to hunt the first, second, third week of November, anything can happen anytime, any day. Things are changing day to day. And the more you're able to adapt to what's going on a day-to-day basis, it just benefits you. Because you're not going to find a deer's doing a certain thing and you're not equipped to do what you need to do to hunt that deer based on the given events.
Right. So what do you think your overall thought of the 2023? 22?
Great American Outdoor Show?
Yes.
Oh,
What year is it?
2023, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
I'm not good with that stuff.
No, I mean, I think we pretty much touched on everything. It's just every year it just blows my mind on the new innovations and the new products coming out, and just trying to keep up with everything that's coming out and stuff like that. But I mean, again, I think we've talked about enough. It's just, I just love building relationships with these companies, and they're regular dudes. They're just like us, you know? And that's the cool thing, because once you get to know them, we're all the same. We're all doing the same thing. We all have the same passions for our family and for the outdoors.
You know what? I'm just glad that in the 2023 season, or 2023 Great American Outdoor Show, that the Amish Hot Pockets didn't change at all.
No, they were still right on. The only thing that killed me all weekend, man, so I took cash. Right, I saved up some cash. I had a pocket full of cash.
The wife can't track
that's
it.
That's my plan for the week. I'm just gonna. I got a pocket full of cash. You better make it last the weekend.
Well, but because prior though, that's all they took was cash.
Right. Now all of a sudden it's card only, and it's like, I don't want to use my card. I want to use my cash.
How annoying!
It was
so
super annoying, but
so annoying.
But
probably the worst part of that whole entire thing. And both of us have local banks, so we couldn't even go to like a bank and deposit money to put it. You know what I'm saying? What a pain in the ass.
But the Amish Hot Pockets were good. I did. Going back to the show before this,
I heard that the pierogies were good.
I didn't even see,
but we didn't even have pierogies.
Yeah. Going back to the last episode intro, we talked about Amish Hot Pockets, pickles, and beer.
We didn't even have any pickles.
I didn't have any pickles. I don't even know why I said pickles last time, because I don't even like pickles. But
I almost went and got pickles just to get pickles.
I did have some beers.
You had beers?
I had beers.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That was what I talked about, was beers.
Yeah.
That the Amish Pockets go good with beers.
Yeah.
And we don't normally talk about drinking on the podcast, but it's probably the most that we've ever. I'm not really a drinker.
No, but I was this weekend.
Yep. We got to enjoy it. Well, man, I don't know. We're almost home. We got a little bit left of the drive. We got to get through the last city here, and then we are home stretch, man.
Yeah, baby. I can't wait to see my boy Rip.
I know. Abrudu is missing me. She needs to go shed on. But, guys, we all appreciate you and what you guys are doing. Make sure to hit on the YouTube side. Tons of great stuff. The guys are doing some phenomenal stuff over there. If you guys aren't on all of our social media platforms, make sure to get on them. We do have a ton of merch. I know everybody's super excited about the new logo and everything. We had, like, so many comments about it. Like, everybody was like, I love that logo. I love that logo. I love that logo.
So many other companies really complimented on it. Yeah.
Jordan from Combination Creative absolutely knocked it out of the park. I cannot thank him enough for everything he's got going on. And we are going to be plastering this logo over everything. Mark from Nor'easter Game Calls bought 36 tumblers in 20 and 30 ounces. Our game calls, he's working on those also. Our logo is going to be on everything. We will have merch here. We're going to work on that and get that stuff tuned up and tuned out to you guys.
I think worst case scenario, we'll at least have hats for Springfield. I don't know.
Hopefully.
I don't know if
I don't
we'll have tees.
I don't want to say that because maybe we won't. But potentially we might have hats.
They're coming though. We're working.
They are coming. They will be on our website, theoutdoordrive.com.
Yeah, I mean, long story short, I mean, you guys deserve to know as much as everybody. With the new logo change, by the time we got the logo in hand, we barely had enough time to get hats and tees and hoodies done for the crew just to have this weekend in Harrisburg. I think we left on a Thursday morning. I think Trev picked up the hats
on Tuesday,
and I picked up the T-shirts and hoodies for the crew
on
Wednesday night, and we left Thursday morning. So, I mean, it was all we could do just to get a small batch out for the boys just for this weekend. So,
and we'll have a direct link on our website. You'll be able to buy them right off our website and shipped right to your door.
Right.
So we are working on it. I promise, guys. We are thinking about all of you guys. You guys are what makes this all really possible, and we can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah, and another thing I want to throw out there, too, if you guys have questions, we talked about it in this episode. If you have questions about certain gear or certain system and you're on the fence about something, don't be shy. Reach out to us. We'll be glad to talk. This is the time to talk about it. You know, nothing is more of a pet peeve than me than people hitting me up in the middle of November asking these questions. Like, if you want to have a good talk and have plenty of time to make changes or try something, let's talk about it now.
Yeah, now is the time
Reach
to get
out.
your gear,
Right.
get all of your stuff,
Yeah.
make it happen, practice, build your climb, build your system, build your clothing. It's now is the time to do it.
Even scouting, e-scouting, or trying to find a target buck that you've been after, something like that. Like, I'll talk deer tactics all day with somebody. And now's the time to start thinking about it.
And Marduk likes to talk about midget wrestling. So
No,
if
that's
you wanna,
Brad Jarvis. Come on. Let's get out of here with that. Brad still sends me TikToks of midget wrestling, and I'm like, dude, I don't even see this in my algorithm. Like, where are you finding this stuff?
He goes above and beyond, I bet.
Yeah.
It's just, but we like to have we truly honestly like to have conversations and connections with listeners and supporters.
Right.
So like reach out to us. We love to talk, man. If you just want to talk, just text us to talk, man. Talk hunting, share pictures. We are 100% all about it. We don't mind at all. We're honestly all about it.
Yeah, and actually, you just reminded me. With that being said, don't forget to post your pictures on the Facebook group page, because I'm still running the Killer's Corner, but things are getting slow right now. So, I mean, I know it's shed season. If you guys are out shed hunting,
yeah, post
a picture up. I don't even care if you don't find a shed. If you see something cool, you know, I don't, whatever. Just we want to see what you guys are doing in the outdoors. So don't be bashful. Post them up on the group. It's a good community, you know.
Yeah. Well, no further ado, man. Thank you guys all for taking the ride right here on the Outdoor Drive.